All right, so we're going to get right into the video. We're going to just do concealer. We're not going to do foundation today. So we're going to start off with our LA Girl Pro. See that there? And that's in the shade Chestnut. And we're going to go in with that as similar to a foundation. So today's Makeup and a Message, we're going to talk about the celebrities and like the drug abuse, and we don't even have to just pinpoint on celebrities. They're just going to be definitely a part of the examples I'm going to give. But we can say it in general. So if pretty much, I'm sure you all have heard about DMX passing.
Dropped it right now. My last thought would be, I've had a good life. Lord, give me a sign. Show me what I got.
DMX is a snarling yet soulful rapper who had a string of #1 albums in the late 1990s and early 2000s, but whose personal struggles eventually rivaled his lyrical prowess. Died on Friday, 9th April in White Plains, New York. He was 50.
And you know, that's definitely, it's very sad, you know, but it did bring me to think about how just how drug abuse is rampant now. Like, just the whole party scene, driving the boat, as they say. I'll put a clip in of what that is because I didn't know what it was.
Oh, ready? Team on. There you go.
On the yacht. I want to be on the yacht.
Oh, you gave me that baby boat.
She said don't drown for the first go round. Don't drown with the first
Oh.
go round. Let's do it.
Yeah, one more time. Woo!
Ooh. Go round two.
So I'm sure some other people may not either, but it's kind of wild. It's just like, we think it's all fun and games, because I say we because I used to be there too. We think it's all fun and games. You know, we're just having a good time. We're young, you know, we're just being kids, you know, or young adults. And you don't realize the toll, you know, these substances are taking on you. You don't realize how dangerous these things are until it's too late, you know? And now me, I was a more so R&B type of person as well. Growing up, I couldn't really even listen to that type of music. So when I was able, like old enough to where I could, you know, when we had our little MP3 players, you know, we had our burn CDs. I'll burn you a CD. Oh yeah, girl, I'll burn you a CD. I'm telling my age, but yeah, back when that stuff was like the it thing. During those times, like, I really I was more so an R&B person, or music, like kind of like alternative type of music, feel good music, kind of like if you all heard of the internet and stuff like that. I just wasn't really a huge hip hop fan, so the only DMX songs I ever knew was the stuff that played everywhere, you know, stop, drop, you know, stuff like that. Next, we're going to go in with our concealer, and that's in the shade Warm Honey. That's still our LA Girl Pro. Yeah. So, back to my topic. You all know I tend to ramble. But yeah, so I wasn't a huge fan of his, but he had a huge following, you know, and people say he was very intellectual. He was very spiritual, like religious maybe. And from what people are saying, he did in fact have a drug issue. So it's not one of those conspiracy theory, oh, did he really die from that? You know, like people like to do. No, he did have a drug issue. You know, when people fall off the wagon, when people fall off the wagon and like, or they have a, you know, a depressing time where they're going through some things and they kind of just jump back into those bad habits. And then you don't realize that your body can no longer take it, you know? So that brings me into this makeup and a message topic. We have to treat our body like it's a temple. And trust me, I'm not speaking from someone that's never had a drink, you know, someone that's never partook in drugs. And I'll use the word drugs very lightly, because I wasn't fooling around with the stuff people fooling around with now. I'm never been a pill popper, or nothing's going in my nose at all, you know. But, you know, but when we say like, oh, marijuana, it comes from the earth and all of that, because, you know, I used to buy into that too. It's like, oh, it's really not that bad, making excuses for your poor choices, you know, and things that you're going to partake in. But you'll meet people or hear people speak about marijuana and how the stuff people are smoking now is not the same as back in the day. And back in the day, that's like, you know, the true stuff, the stuff that literally came from a plant. Now you don't know what's in this stuff.
Well, it ain't your mama's weed.
I think I'm gonna go with 2 grams of the Durban.
Our 4 testers each bought Colorado's most popular strain, Durban Poison.
Can you talk to us a bit about the THC content in the Durban Poison?
That guy sits at 24% right now.
24% THC, the stuff that gets you high. This strain is 5 or 6 times stronger than what was around in the 1970s.
They said he ended up getting like mixed into drugs when someone like laced his you know, blunt. If you don't know what blunt is, a blunt, marijuana, you know, rolled up, that's what they call it. That's slang for it, is a blunt. And they said they like laced it, and next thing you know, he was doing this drug.
In a 2020 interview on People's Party with Talib Kweli, he broke down as he recounted his introduction to drugs at 14.
I hit the blood, and I'm like, I was no longer focused on the money. I never felt like this. I later found out that he laced the blood with crack. Why would you do that to a child?
Never giving up hope, DMX wanted to be a better man.
So it's like you think you're partaking in things like that, but you're really dibbing and dabbing in stuff that you have no business, you know? And if you don't treat your body like it's a temple now, you're going to regret it later. You're going to regret it later. And you want to look down or make fun of the people that, you know, want better for themselves, that don't want to be drunk and high all the time, when they're going to be the ones laughing later. Hopefully, you know, they're not going to be the type of person that likes to laugh in your face, but they're going to be the ones laughing later. When they can still be up and about doing whatever they want to do when you're laid up in somebody's hospital bed. And we can't even really limit it to the hard stuff. Because I thought that too. I'm like, oh, you know, I just, you know, drink a little bit of wine. You know, it's not a big deal. You know, it's cute. I got my glass and everything. You know, and we think that, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not that serious. But why do you think they call alcohol or liquor spirits? You know, why do you think when these celebrities go, you know, they start, you're always hearing about, you know, this one's an alcoholic, or this one is drug abuse and this and that. But when they're in the studio and they're doing this and doing that, their creative juices are flowing and they can rap for hours. They can sing they just come up with all types of things. It makes you wonder where all this stuff is coming from. But it's creepy in a way. It's creepy. Your biggest stars will say these things. And it's a bunch of other celebrities talking about how the record labels and stuff, they'll mistreat you, or they'll make sure you have, they'll let you pick your poison. If you like alcohol, they'll stock you with that because they know that you'll be creative, and whatever spirits that you're just drinking yourself silly. They, you that's when people say they're out of their mind or they don't even remember anything, because it wasn't you. It wasn't you. And it took me some time to kind of realize, like, okay, it's a choice I got to make here. It's a choice I got to make. And do I want to let this become an idol? Or do I want to be my best version of myself? And everybody has to make that choice. Everybody has to make that choice. Now, if you're the type of person that you never really indulged that much, it's here and there, every New Year's, boom, a little champagne. I'm not knocking you. I'm not knocking you. It's not like you're getting drunk and all that. But with those things, you got to be real careful. It'll sneak up on you, and your one drink here and there turns into all the time. And tell you, it's not the path you want to go on. It's just not. But yeah. We think that it's fun now. It's so many other alternatives. There's so many other alternatives to just getting high and drinking and smoking all day. It's so much other things you could do. And if you really think about it, how productive are you on that stuff? How productive are you? Look at my nose look crooked talking to y'all. It's like, how productive are you really when you're partaking in all of this? Couldn't be that productive. I'm like, I know some definitely high functioning ones. I will say that. But what you do now on that, just imagine without it. Things I never dreamed I would be beginning and starting and creating, I am now without those things. And I have more time to do it, more money to do it. Because don't get me started on the money you're wasting. Sheesh. Don't get me started on the money you're wasting. If you haven't, go and watch my budgeting video. Boop. Little plug there. But yeah, it's wild. And if you all heard about Azalea Banks, she talked a lot about, the artist. And now Azalea Banks has her days where she's just like a bit much, I will say that. But she was speaking facts. About how the industry treats them and all that. So I'm actually going to play a little clip of what she said, and then I'll get back to the makeup, because this is makeup and a message. So let's play that clip.
Rest in peace, DMX. Splint from Prodigy and DMX are two of my biggest inspirations. Next, I really want to open this discussion about the music industry and its artists. Now, the way shit is set up now, you'll have a record label, say it's Columbia or whatever, and there's fucking like Jennifer Smith, some white that works in marketing, right? And she got a husband and she got kids, and her whole entire family is on her job's health insurance plan, But then you have an artist like DMX who's clearly suffering with issues, and there's no care to even help this person. Then you have this network of people that kind of just work together to basically sabotage the artist and like get every little piece that they can out of the artist. sometimes they're even like setting you up, kind of like waiting to cash in on your death, you know? And when you have somebody like DMX, who for so long was crying out for help, you know, crying out for help, letting people know that he needed help, legitimate help, not just manager, his label, have his money, you know, he can't pay taxes, he's in debt, so then he feels like he has to keep performing for these people. That's really how evil this shit is. You know, there's been a lot of times in my career where I've had fans like, Azealia, go get help. Go get help. Go to the therapist, you know? But guess what? I couldn't afford to go to the therapist, okay? Because I had business managers, lawyers, managers, record labels, everybody stealing money, weaving this web that's like impossible to penetrate the album. But there were a lot of years that I really seriously could not afford to go to therapy. And all I'm saying is that this changed. You look at these rap niggas right now, look at Travis Scott, okay? Nobody's stepping in to intervene with Travis Scott. You got enablers, you probably got a manager going to get the fucking lean and go set so this nigga could sit in the video and make more money for y'all crackers. And y'all don't care what happens to him. Nobody's suggesting like, oh, maybe, you know, maybe we should have like an in-house therapy. Maybe we should have like in-house drug rehabilitation programs. No. They're going to push you to the edge and push you to the fucking limit. So you keep creating. And then when you die of drug overdose, then they want to come and cash in on it. This shit stop. And I'm saying this to artists, you know, artists that are already signed to labels, artists that are like aspiring to be a part of the music industry or a part of the world. I'm saying this to record labels. If you guys are going to sign people into these like lifelong contracts where they're offering up their intellectual property, health insurance, and the top health insurance has to be a no-brainer, okay? And the health insurance coverage needs to last for the artist's entire lifetime. I don't care if it's a one-hit wonder. You're going to be making a lot of money off of that one hit. The least to do is get these artists some doctors, get these help. A lot of us really need help. You know, there were times early in my career where I was really for alcoholism, and instead of somebody trying to be like, okay, you know, maybe we should take Azealia to a program, you know, they just put 4 bottles of vodka in my fucking dressing room so I could just drink myself into a fucking stupor and go on stage and make more money for these niggas.
Okay, so if you all like was listening to what she was saying, it's just like, it's really, really, really sad, you know, that these are the people that millions of individuals idolize, which I don't condone that either, but it's true. Like, these people, they'll look up to, you know, want to strive to be like them, and you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, behind the curtains. People be really broken, you know, and you'll find out about, you know, the even like the Disney stars and stuff like that, where they done went crazy, and they're so different. Amanda Bynes, it's just so many people. Like, it's so many of these artists and actors and just people in the limelight in general that have gone through so much behind the scenes that you don't know about. The guy in B2K, you know, because I believe that, because I don't know any grown man that would be sitting there lying about that. But yeah, it's you really have to take the time and see what's going on. And then they use these substances to kind of make themselves feel better, you know, kind of, it's a filler, you know, to try and get past all the hurt and, you know, all the issues that they have. But really, it just camouflages those issues for a little bit until you just spiral out of control. And just like these celebrities, it's the same thing with regular people, because they're just regular people. If this is happening to people that have all this money, all this fame, some of them, all this fame, you know, what makes you any different? So much I want to say, but this video is not going to be so long. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my makeup. I'll still do it on camera so you all can see the process. And yeah, I'll be back with my final thought and my final look. Did a little eyeliner, eyebrows, a darker lippy, mascara, of course. And I really hope you all enjoy it because, you know, it took a bit more time. But yeah, so with my final thoughts, you know, I just want to say, you know, it's time that we all take the time out, you know, to take care of ourselves, whether it be eating better, working out, you know, finding other hobbies or just hobbies in general that'll keep us away from indulging in these things. Because at the end of the day, you know, it's not doing you any good. And if you want to be a better version of yourself, you got to start taking care of yourself first. It's easier said than done. I do know that. But, you know, if you have the faith, you can do it. Just know that if you ask God to release you of these things and of these strongholds, and you in your heart know that you want to stop, you can do it. But if you don't know you want to stop, eventually is going to stop you. So with that being said, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button, notification bell if you will, comment, subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned because I'll be back at it again with another video. Bye, you guys.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.